A potage Julienne Darblay is a Parmentier soup. Parmentier means that the soup is made of potatoes. The soup will be mixed with a julienne of vegetables. It's one of the first recipes that a new student would learn when starting his culinary program in a French cooking school. To make the soup, you will need potatoes, turnip, white part of the leek, celery rib, carrot, the green part of the leeks, chicken stock, parsley or chervil if available at the market, whipping cream or heavy cream, salt, white pepper optional, sugar and butter. So I have washed my leeks and peeled my potatoes. Then slice the leeks. Position your fingers into a claw position. The leeks don't have to be very thin, or the cut doesn't have to be very precise because the soup will be processed or puree. Then cut the white part in half and slice it. I have a little bit of green here. It's fine. It will give a little bit of color to the soup. You don't want to waste too much of the vegetables. So I'm using my index finger and thumb on each side to keep the leek in place. Good. Let's cook. In a saucepan or large pot, melt 2 tablespoons of butter, add the chopped leeks, cook the leek on medium to medium-low heat for about 5 to 7 minutes or until they are fully melted and tender. Then make sure that the leeks do not brown. You don't want to have too much heat in the pot to brown the leeks, okay? No color. Stir from time to time. Slice the potatoes into half-inch slices. Keep the potatoes in cold water to prevent them from browning. After 5 minutes, drain your potatoes and add them to the pot. Add the water. And the chicken stock. Season lightly with salt. Stir. Make sure that all the leeks are into the liquid or covered by the liquid. And bring the soup to a boil on high heat. Turnips are called navets in French. They can be white or yellow, and they are root vegetables. When peeled, wash your turnips under cold running water and it will be ready to be used. Our soup is boiling. Turn down the heat to medium and let it simmer for about 20 minutes or until the potatoes are fully tendered. Cut your turnip into julienne. So here it's flat, so leave it there. Position your finger over and cut it into thin slices. Alternatively, you may use a mandolin. Stack the slices. Then position your fingers over and finally cut it into thin julienne. So here my julienne has different length. If you want to have something very regular, then you have to make sure you trim the slices in order to have everything the same length. The thing is, you will waste a lot of food. If you work in a professional kitchen, the chef might want a perfect julienne with all the vegetables being the same length. Then you will have to trim everything. Cut the carrot into sections, the same length as the other julienne. cut each section into thin slices. So make it flat, sit, and then cut into thin slices. Stack the slices and cut them into thin julienne. Cut your celery into sections, about all the same size. Break down your celery, make it flat, and finely slice it. If you want a very thin julienne, then cut the celery ribs into thin slices, like so. And then each piece into half again. Then slice each slices into thin julienne. Celery is a bit thicker, so it's harder to make a nice julienne. Even though the vegetables are very tender, cut your leeks into sections about 5 centimeters, 1.5 inches or almost 2 inches. So here my leeks are dirty, so we're going to cut the sections, separate them like so, them in half. Take all your leeks to the sink and wash them thoroughly. I'm ready to cut my julienne, but before I do so, what I did sanitize my area and my cutting board and my knife to prevent cross-contamination. In professional kitchens, it's common and certain chefs prefer to cut the julienne and then wash the julienne. Okay, so it's really up to you. So grab all the leaves and stack them by little piles of 2 or 3 leaves. Position your finger over and finely julienne it. With this exercise, julienne shouldn't have any secrets anymore for you. It's time now to cook it. In a pan, melt the remaining butter. Cook your butter on medium heat. You don't want to have the pan too hot, because otherwise you will brown the vegetables. And you just want to cook them slowly with the butter and the seasoning. When the butter has melted, add the vegetables. Season. With salt. Add the sugar. So the sugar is just to taste. So about half teaspoon. And stir. Look at all those colors. Beautiful. If you feel like it, you may saute the vegetables. The julienne being so thin, it will take only 3 to 4 minutes to be cooked. If your vegetables are still a little bit crunchy, it's fine. They will finish to cook anyway in the soup if you want to. Personally, I like to have my julienne slightly crunchy because you don't want them to fall apart and to get mush. You put so much effort cutting them, right? So you want to show them, you want to say, hey, this is my julienne, it's Julienne Darblay, isn't it? Reserve the julienne. When the soup is cooked, with a hand blender, puree the soup. The soup is blended, it's pretty thin, nice. Return the soup to a boil and add the cream. Add a little white pepper, optional. Taste. Perfect. Remove the whisk and add the julienne to the soup. Mix. Ooh, what a nice soup. I love the colors. Then plate the soup. It's always a good idea when you serve a hot dish to preheat your plates or your bowl. That way your food will stay warm for a longer time. Add chervil leaves on the top to garnish or parsley leaves. There we go. Nice. Then, with a clean rag, clean the plate. It's of course to remove some food on the side that may have dropped, but also to remove any fingerprints on the plate. Any plate you will serve or you will make must be clean all the time. There's nothing like to have a plate in a restaurant, for instance, where you can see all the fingerprints from all the brigade or the kitchen, right? This is why in a restaurant, a professional waiter will have what we call a lito, which is like a napkin to hold the plates, to grab the plates, because they shouldn't use their finger on the plate. Yeah, French cuisine, French service. Enjoy your potage Julienne Darblay. Bon appétit!